Welcome back, my fiendish friends. The Halloween fog is cleared, the blood's still drying, and you know what that means.
Seasonal depression?
Close. It's Christmas time, the season of joy, lights, and me questioning every life decision that led to this garage.
Ah, yes. Nothing says holiday spirit like the smell of sawdust and regret.
This is our first build of the Christmas season, and we're kicking things off with Whoville's weirdest masterpiece, the Whoville Christmas tree.
You're building a 9-foot Seuss tree out of cardboard and mud. Somewhere a Home Depot manager is crying.
And yet, here we are, spreading cheer, making chaos, and praying the lights don't blow a fuse.
I already checked. They will.
Thanks, Reg. Nothing says Carvalho creations like an electrical fire.
Do we really need to do Christmas? Can't we just skip straight to the part where you panic decorate at 2 a.m.?
That is Christmas, Reggie. It's a tradition.
So disappointing.
Which is why you're here.
Touché. Santa's mistake.
And I'm proud of it. So grab your cocoa, your glue gun, and your last bit of sanity, because the Carvalho Creations Christmas starts now.
Oh, good. The nightmares just got tinsel.
Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a 9-foot tall outdoor Christmas tree for your holiday display. And this is going to be a Dr. Seuss Grinch-style inspired Christmas tree, and I wanted to make this thing over the top. Now, let's go ahead and get to the design so you guys can follow along visually as we create this prop. So when I was thinking about creating this, I looked up a bunch of different reference pictures from the actual 2000 movie with Jim Carrey, and then also the 2018 they redid, and then the classic one from the 60s to get the inspiration I need to create this tree. And the one thing that stayed true through all those things was the curved top of the Christmas trees. And I wanted to make sure that was super prevalent in what we're doing today. So it's the thing that stands out in the yard. It's gonna be an outdoor display. So it's gonna be so much fun to make. So why don't we get into the material list so we can go along and see what we're gonna need to create this tree. Now, first and foremost, we're gonna be needing chicken wire. Now, the chicken wire is basically gonna be the structural shape to create that arc look. Now, for me, in today's video, I'm gonna be using an old water heater because I get severe winds out where I'm living now. And if I make something out of like PVC pipe and 2x4, which you can do as an alternative, it would work out perfectly if you don't get a ton of weight, or if you could weigh that down, you absolutely can make that. But I had this old water heater sitting on the side of the house for a few months, and I wanted to repurpose it because it's super heavy and it's gonna be perfect for that 9-foot tree to hold it in place. No wind is gonna tear it down. We're definitely gonna be using that today. I'm gonna be using chicken wire, like I said. We're gonna be using cardboard for the actual outside casing over the chicken wire. And I really don't know how this is gonna work. It's gonna be my first attempt for this, but I know the cardboard would fall apart in itself in the rain, and we're supposed to be getting rain in a few days here. So what I'm gonna do is also take Monster Mud, so you're gonna be needing Monster Mud for sure, and I'm gonna coat the outside of the cardboard once I get all the details done. And then hopefully, if I do that correctly, add a few layers of exterior paint and then spray that with a clear coat, I'm hoping that it lasts the season. Now again, this prop isn't something that I'm gonna store. It's not meant to last year after year after year. This is for one display that I'm doing this year because we're doing a Whoville-inspired display this year, and I'm gonna break it down at the end of the season, or the weather's gonna break it down. So I'm not looking to create a long-lasting prop here. This is just gonna be for one season, and that's all I need it for. So we're gonna be needing cardboard, chicken wire, and just regular paints, and our Monster Mud, of course. So very limited as far as materials here. Again, this is gonna be a budget-friendly project, and it's gonna be a one-season project. I wanna make that very clear because cardboard will fall apart eventually. And if it gets more than a few rains, it'll fall apart by the end of the season. But this is gonna be such a cool build. I hope you guys are excited about this one. I definitely am. I love the Grinch, I love Dr. Seuss. This is gonna be so much fun this season. So why don't we go ahead and get to that first step? All right, so to start off our project today, I'm gonna be starting with this old water heater. Now, you can build a frame out of 2x4 or PVC pipe, but I wanted mine to be pretty tall, so I want this to be structurally supported, and the weight of this water heater is gonna be great. It's been sitting on the side of the house. I'm gonna repurpose it. I'm gonna build my entire structure around it. Now, my idea for this is, it's got a hole in the center of this water heater here. So I can shove one of these 2x3s down in the middle here to create a base for the topper, because the idea is to make this in two parts. So from the top of the water heater down would be more of the bottom of the tree, and then I want to go up, and I can judge about how far high I want to go with this just by moving the stick here. I pre-measured this. I'm going to have it cut at about 44 inches in length. That way I can create some cross beams made up with the same scrap wood here, so it'll sit on top of this, so I can remove the top part and then place it back in, and it'll sit in this hole with those two bracers, and it'll be perfect for what I need to do. So we're going to go ahead and cut that wood, then we'll build our chicken wire frame, and then we're going to go over everything with some cardboard to create that leaf. Now I want this to feel more like a cartoon, so this is the idea we're going for here. I think it's going to be really awesome when it's done. And then we'll be coating the entire thing with monster mud, and then of course giving a detailed paint. Now I want to mention with this here, I'm not looking for something that's going to last me years. This is a really big prop just for a one-season display. So I'm looking at super budget-friendly materials, very inexpensive. It's going to be great. Something you could have up for one season, and then you take it down because it's probably going to fall apart by then. But let's go ahead and get to that first step.
All right, to start off our build today, I'm just going to be cutting that piece of wood that I showed you guys here a second ago for the top at 44 inches in length. And then I'm going to cut two secondary pieces at about 20 inches in length to create that T shape that I can stand on top of my water heater. Now, I did leave a few inches to drop into the water heater. Again, this is just for my specific build here. If you guys are doing the frame by itself, you're not going to need to worry about this step. But this is how I put it together, and it's been in some rain now and also a lot of wind, and it's holding up perfectly. It hasn't moved an inch, so this is the best thing that I could use for me. You guys might have a different situation though. And I'm just pre-drilling some holes here and then adding my screws as well, so all this is nice and tight and doesn't move anywhere. And now to get to my chicken wire, I have this 5-foot section of chicken wire. That's what I'm using for the base, just because it worked out perfectly for me. You don't have to have this. You can use regular chicken wire and do maybe 3 or 4 layers, but this is just what I had on hand. That's why I'm using it. And here I'm just taking some scrap wire. Now, all the chicken wire comes with wire wrapped around it to hold it tight. That's the same stuff I'm using here. And I just cut that into sections. And now I'm working on getting that form of the Christmas tree down. Now, I want to stress, you want to keep your tree thinner than what you want your finished result to be, just because if you make it too wide in this step, then your other steps, it's going to be extra wide. So you got to account for the cardboard layer that we're going to do later here. So keep it relatively thin. And like I said here, I wanted to do mine in 2 sections. That way I can take it apart when I transport it or move it, and it'll be just a little bit easier to deal with. So once I got the base down, I went ahead and did another top layer over the top here to create that top section that I can remove, and I'm just stapling the chicken wire directly to my wood frame so I know it'll stay and it won't move at all. And then I grabbed some gloves here because this chicken wire, like I've said in plenty of videos, it's super sharp. It can cut your hands really easy, or even if you're just working with the wire, your hands tend to get a little bit raw, so this works best with gloves. Now for my cardboard, I'm just taking like old Amazon boxes and stuff like that and just creating like the little foliage on the bottom here and just cutting that with some scissors. And you know, it doesn't have to be a perfect shape. I'm looking for more Whoville, so not so realistic, more fake. And I decided to go ahead and cut it with this pattern, and it worked out perfectly. I'm just with my hand, I'm going ahead and rolling the edges just to make those flare out a little bit, the little leaves on the bottom. Now here I'm just taking that same scrap wire I was talking about, I'm poking it directly through the cardboard on the top here and just stringing it through, weaving it into the actual metal mesh. That way I don't have to worry about it. It's going to stay all season and it should be fine. And also too, I'm going ahead and layering this, so starting from the bottom and working my way up, so everything is layered and covered and it looks like one uniform piece. Now it took me about 4 or 5 days to get this project done to completion. It was quite a bit of work, I'm not gonna lie, you know, a few hours every day to try to get it looking as good as possible. And again, to add a little bit more to the top, because I wanted that bend, I'm adding a little bit of 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and this is probably cut at about 16 inches in length. So once I screw that down to my wood base, I'm just taking my heat gun here and bending it to get that Whoville Christmas tree look. And I made sure to leave a little bit of extra PVC sticking out of the top so I can connect my star to it when I'm ready.
All right, so I wanted to stop the video at this point so I could show you the progress and what we've done so far before we get to the next step. So what I ended up doing here was just creating that chicken wire frame right around my old water heater. Now, again, you guys can always use 2x4s and PVC pipe to create an armature to hold your structure. Again, like I said, though, I get super bad winds here where I'm living, so that stuff blows around, so I need something heavy as my base. Now, I made this in 2 sections. It's a little tight to get this off. So if I were redoing this from scratch, I'd probably create some kind of barrier that went around first layer of chicken wire here before I add the top so I can easily slip it on and off. Now my plan though is to take this apart just one more time, set it up where I'm going to have it, and I'll do all my monster mud and detail painting from that point. But I wanted to show you. So what I ended up doing was taking the top here and I put some 3/4 inch PVC pipe screwed into the 2x4 I had put in here originally so I can create that very iconic like Dr. Seuss twisted trees for Christmas. That was the idea anyway. So now I have that protruding out the top. So that way if I want to add my own whimsical star to this, I can do that, and I probably will because it's going to look great for this. Also, too, when it comes to these areas here where I made this kind of leaves coming off the side of the tree, I just went ahead and rolled the cardboard onto itself, held it there a little bit, and it's going to give me that nice flow of the leaf. And then when I go back with my monster mud and do a couple coats here, it should retain that shape once it's nice and dry. Now, what I'm going to do here before we get to the monster mud, though, is I want to make sure that all these are sealed up as well. So we put a couple beads of hot glue in here, and then I'm going to be wrapping the flat areas with monster mud and material. That way it creates this hard shell, and then everything else will be painted with monster mud and a brush. So just to get a hard coat on here so it'll last at least the season. Again, like I said, this isn't a prop that I'm going to be keeping around all year. I don't have the storage space for something like this, so this is a one-time deal. It's going to keep it really budget-friendly like we had talked about. Well, all we're using actually is a little bit of scrap wood, some chicken wire, and some cardboard, and of course our monster mud and fabric. But for this tall of a piece, this is at least 8 to 9 feet, I'd say, in height. It's going to be great outside. It's going to be perfect for our holiday jubilation type of deal. So just wanted to show you what we have so far before we get to the next step. But now it's time for our monster mud and detailed paint. So why don't we go ahead and go wild?
Okay, so now that I have the majority of the frame done, I felt like it needed just a couple more pieces of cardboard to create those leaves and some of the bare spots. So I'm just taking more scrap cardboard here and just cutting those and hot gluing them to the actual cardboard. And I did it to go over the actual wood as well. That's my daughter. She's nuts. And to create the star on top, I'm just taking a cardboard template that I cut out really quick. And I'm just taking some, I think this is 11 gauge wire, and bending it around to create that Whoville shape, because I'm going to use some beef netting here in a second and wrap the star, the metal wire star, with some beef netting. I'm just using some spray adhesive here. I thought it needed something cool, a little bit different. I'll probably be using this technique for more props this season, so definitely stick around. I'll show you what you guys can do with beef netting. It's really cool, universal material, and it works like a store-bought Christmas gifts with the lights and all that good stuff. So I might be doing something like that in the very near future here, so stick around if you want to see that happen. I made sure to add spray adhesive and beef netting to both sides as well. That way I could light this star from the back and it would shine when I needed it to. This entire project was trial and error. I had never done anything like this before, but I wanted to give it a go and see what I could do. And here I'm just cutting down my PVC pipe and then putting a little filling in there to stuff my star in so it works out well and holds tight. Now to get to the monster mud stage, I'm using material here on the top, and the reason I'm doing that is because I want to cover any open surface, because when rain hits, I want it to run off the sides and not go down into the cardboard, so I just opted to use a little bit of material on the top. Now originally I said I was going to use more material around the base and the trunk, but I didn't want it to be too distracting because I wasn't going to cover the entire thing with material, so I opted to just paint the cardboard. And I'll be giving you guys updates throughout the season to let you know how it's holding up. Now, right now, currently as I'm recording this, it is raining and it's holding up pretty well. Nothing's falling off, nothing is wilted, so I'm hoping it lasts, but I'll let you guys know as time goes on. Now to get to our painting stage here, I decided to use this, I don't know, it's almost like a a glacier bluish color. That's what I was thinking anyway, to give a nice undertone to this. Now, originally, these were the only colors I had on hand. You can always paint this with a forest green color as your base coat and then go back in and do some detailed paint, but this is what I had. So now I'm just using like an army green color just to create a little shadowing under those leaves that you see there. And then I'll be going back in with another lighter green and brushing by hand to create like individual brush strokes that you can see to kind of break up this monotony of the color and to give a little bit more life to the tree. Good tip for this too is just kind of stand back, paint your sections and then take a few steps back, look at your tree overall, make sure it's looking as nice as you want it to look, and then go back to it. Constantly doing that. If any artists are watching this, you guys know what I'm talking about, but you got to step away from your work every once in a while so you can get a better perspective of it. Now that the tree is done with the greens I was looking for, went ahead and had my daughter go ahead and just kind of highlight the edges of the leaves here, a couple strips in the middle, just so it looks like snow has been falling on the tree. But this project is pretty much done. I hope you guys liked today's build. If you did, let me know down in the comment section below. But until next time, happy holidays.
I've never cared much for winter. Ice and snow leaves me totally cold. But something's up each year in December. I love it like a miner loves gold. It's never about the presents, the turkey or the Christmas tree. It's all about that glow in my baby's eyes that lights a fire inside of me. My baby's just crazy about Christmas. Just listen to that kitten, the way she purrs.
And that, my friends, is our Whoville Christmas tree, built from cardboard, chicken wire, and a complete disregard for common sense.
Ah, yes, the holiday trifecta.
It's bright, it's bendy, and it's mostly standing.
Mostly, that's the confidence we love to hear from a man surrounded by open electrical sockets.
You're just jealous because I made Christmas magic while you sat there drinking cocoa like a judgmental elf.
Correction, spiked cocoa. I can't do this sober.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, Reggie.
Merry Christmas? I spent the day dodging glue fumes and existential dread.
That is Christmas.
Can't argue with that.
So that's it for this build and the start of our Christmas chaos. We got plenty more festive nonsense coming, so stick around, hit that subscribe button, and remember, the key to building anything is simple. Keep building things, stay creative, and don't forget to go wild. I'm Gio from Carvalho Creations, and I'll see you next time. Come on, Reggie, those cookies were for Santa.
Relax, I'm doing quality control.
That's the third batch you controlled.
I take my job seriously. Besides, Santa's on keto now.
You're getting coal for Christmas.
Good. I can heat the garage with it. Merry Christmas, degenerates.